Hey everyone, welcome back to another appointment with yours truly, Psychologist. Today's topic is a very interesting one for me and a very important one as well. It's the first time I've wrote a script for a video. So if you see me looking here, it's because I have my notebook. So I can look at it because I'm not good at learning things. I was really debating if I should do this type of video or not because I don't know, it's kind of it's a huge problem and a huge conversation, but I decided I want to talk about it because I've seen a lot of videos and everything about it, especially social media, for a while now, for a long time as well, to be honest. So I just wanted to talk about it, and as you can tell by the title, the thing that we're gonna talk about today is gender wars. So basically the whole fight going on between men and women, and the whole shit that has been going on for a long time now. And yeah, let's get into this shit. First of all, when it comes to society, I believe a lot that both men and women should be treated equally, no matter the gender or sex, whatever you prefer. I guess I'm gonna say gender because it works, I guess. So no matter the gender, I think they should be treated equally. We are all humans, and that's what matters at the end of the day. If someone, for example, does the same amount of work for the same amount of hours, no matter the gender, they should get paid the exact same salary. Because I've seen a lot of debates and stuff like that who say that women don't get paid equally to men, which yes, maybe it is true. I haven't really searched it up, to be honest, but that's just my opinion. I think if they do the same amount of work and the same amount of hours, they should just be getting the same type of salary, and I think that's the most logical thing to do anyways. If a spot for a job is open, the person who will get the job should be judged by their qualities and what they have to offer, and not their gender, or if you want to open the conversation, if they have a different skin color, a different race, or whatever. They should just be judged based on their qualities and what they have to offer to the job. And yeah, of course, though men and women are different by nature, and for example, women are better when it comes to different things than men, and vice versa. For example, when it comes to the kids, for example, like babysitting and everything, that doesn't mean a man can't take care of a baby. Of course he can, but most people prefer to have a woman because they're better by nature. But that's just how the logic goes for almost everyone, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean that a man can't do that work as well. And for example, if you work as a mechanic or everything, that doesn't mean that a woman cannot be a mechanic. Of course she can. Most people would prefer for a man, it's more common, it's what I'm trying to say. It's more common for example, a woman to be a babysitter and a man to be a mechanic, but that doesn't mean that the opposite gender can do the job as good as a job as the opposite gender can. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I hope you do. So basically, yes, they both can do the same things, but in general, by nature, men and women are different, and that's why they are better at different things than the opposite gender. Okay, that's my first point. My main issue with this gender thing, the gender war thing, is that people are taking things way too far. Perfect example is the kill all men and all men on trash type things that were happening a few years ago and still going on. How sick in the head can you be to say stuff like that and actually believing in them? And even if it was like a joke, you cannot say stuff like that as a joke, especially if you're a grown, mature person and shit like that, which most of the people who say things like that aren't, even though they try to act like one. Another example is saying all women are the same, they're liars, they're cheaters, gold diggers, they only want you for your money, and etc. We need to stop generalizing everything and anything, and be mature enough to admit it's stupid and of course not a joke. I keep seeing shit on the internet, and it now became a trend to make fun, talking shit about the opposite gender. We keep making trends like this and then we're wondering what's wrong with our society. Well, this is a very big issue and it probably won't fade away anytime soon, unfortunately. It's because 2 or 3 guys may have hurt you on the past or cheated on you or whatever. That doesn't mean that every guy is a cheater and all men are trash. Just because 4, 5, 6, it doesn't matter. Women hurt you or cheated on you or use you for your money or whatever. That doesn't mean that all women are the same and dumb shit like that, which I'm honestly so tired of hearing. And I not once in my life have ever said, yeah, fuck all women are trash, all women are the same, cheaters, liars and shit like that. That's so fucking dumb. That's so stupid. And honestly, if you end up only on this type of women and men, maybe you are a bit of the issue for the type of people you're going towards. So maybe just take a quick look on yourself first and then criticize the whole gender. Okay? Thanks. So basically my point is, please wake the fuck up and stop this idiotic logic that so many people have nowadays. Just because you were unlucky with a few people of the opposite sex a few times doesn't mean that all of them are the same exact thing that you have experienced. Mostly this problem is caused by immature teens or young adults, which leads to my next point. School, aside from parents, is the biggest factor to someone's personality and logic and like how they view things and everything. But obviously schools, when it comes to this type of problems and society problems, they are fucking useless. They're not doing anything. Like, it's honestly crazy and so fucking insane how no teacher, when I was in school like a year ago and all those things were happening, no one was talking about it. But you know what they were talking about? Let me tell you. We were talking about everything else except for a very huge problem that's going on with our society and how this can affect the relationships that we have with each other, like between men and women. I'm not talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about friendships and just any relationships at all. Because basically there's a lot of hate going on between the two genders and a lot of shit talking and everything, but it's fine. You know why? Because we learned what the fuck Venizelos was doing 50 years ago and even more. Now, I'm not saying that history isn't important, don't get me wrong. I think Of course, we should know that, but why are you just talking about this shit? Why are you not talking about the huge problem that's going on between the society of young teens, well, teens and young adults, sorry. And I'm here learning about how to say, I don't know, anything in Latin, for example. Like, what the fuck is that gonna do for me in any way possible? You know, like, this is so fucking dumb. But of course, we had a subject which was Greek literature, or just Greek, because they're two different things, but they're kind of similar and they kind of relate to each other. And we were talking about things like that. Do you know what we've been hearing about the whole fucking year I was there? The whole years I was there, actually. We were talking about how women were mistreated like 200 years ago, 100 years ago, 50 years ago. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't know. I'm saying that if you want to talk about mistreating people, why the fuck are you not talking about something that's been going on for years, and people actually going out and saying that all men should be killed and shit like that? And don't you fucking dare say, well, they were just a few women, it's not a big deal. Yes, it is. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a man and it happened to men. If it happened, if guys went out publicly and posting shit like kill all women, I would say the same shit. I would say the same thing, because that's just stupid. And there's a lot of women who are against that, and obviously you can search it on the internet if you want. You can see a lot of people, a lot of women actually going on and saying kill all men and all men are trash and shit. And of course there's the opposite side of that, who are men talking smack about women in any way possible and shit like that, which is so fucking dumb. And I think that it needs to be stopped immediately, because the only thing that this does is hurt our society, and it just brings hate to a society we're trying to live in all together, and spread love to the person next to us, and shit like that. Not spread hate, not hate on the opposite gender, just because we have 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever incidents that didn't go as planned, and we got hurt and heartbroken. That's my point. But of course, in school they say nothing about it. Personally, I've heard nothing about the whole gender wars thing, and I think that's wrong, because you know that teens and young adults are going to get ideas, they're gonna get affected by the things they see on the internet, and those things are all over the internet. So someone who isn't mature enough for their age is going to think, yeah, you know what, my ex-boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever hurt me, so all men / women are trash. All men / women are liars, cheaters, and whatever. Do you understand the problem here? And I wasn't going to do this video if I didn't see an actual problem with those things. Because if you don't see the damage this is causing to our society, and the whole, it's like two worlds colliding. There's one part of the world of men and the other of women, and they're just going into a war. This is what I'm saying. And you're saying, okay, maybe you take things way too deep and shit like that, it's just a joke. When you go out publicly and you say that all men should be killed, just because for whatever reason and experience you had with, I don't know, with men or women, that's wrong. That's wrong. Yes, it's a very serious thing, and that's exactly why the suicides have been going up, depression has been going up. I'm sure this is a very maybe that's not like the main reason, but I'm sure the whole gender war thing actually did cause a lot of damage to both men and women, guys and girls to be more exact. As I was saying about school, I really don't understand why you keep talking for ages. Well, I do understand, because I think it's very important as well to know what was going on the previous ages, like how women were mistreated and women's rights and everything like that, and I completely agree on that. But why was no one talking about, for example, kill of men and stuff like that were all over the internet, and they knew about it? They knew about it. I'm 100% sure they knew about it. Come on. And even if they didn't, they should, because as I said before, they're one of the main factors that are gonna affect how a child, a teen, grows up and how he views the world. But obviously, they're not gonna teach us how to respect the opposite gender, how just to respect anyone at this point. Because if you take a look around, you can see that people don't really respect each other. They're not talking to each other with respect. The only thing they can do is talking shit to each other, because that's what they've learned from social media. Maybe that's my opinion, and maybe that's not true. Yes, of course. But why don't we just learn them? Why don't we learn them how to respect the opposite gender, how to respect the people around them, and you know how and why they should respect them, and what damage does this do to both genders? Again, why is no one talking about the fact that the percentage of suicide is way higher than the percentage of women? Why is no one talking about it? It's just so wrong. It's so wrong, and it's such double standards and bullshit like that I'm just annoyed. And it's not like only the social media, as I told you, and I proved, hopefully, this shit is happening to school as well. Again, I'm not against talking about how women were mistreated, but there's things today that we need to talk about and teach those young teens, these teens / young adults, that they need to respect the others. They need to not spread hate, and if they do, what damage does this do to the others, and stuff like that, you know? I don't know, something needs to change. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be the one who changes those things. I don't have that power, but those who have the power know who they are, and they decide to do nothing about it just because they don't give a single fuck. They don't give a fuck. Their fucks are on the location, just like Sabrina Carpenter once said. But anyways, that was the video for today. I hope you can share this one out so others can hear about it and what I have to say. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree. Please like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and comment down below your thoughts. Again, I don't know if it's gonna change anything, but at least I said what I want to say. And I'll see you on the next appointment. Bye.